Hello and welcome to another video from 55 degrees north. Today I'm at the very top of Newcastle Keep, where I'm going to be doing a little walking tour around the city, having a look round, giving you a little bit of history and seeing what else is going on. So as I said, I'm up the top of the Castle Keep, which the city is actually named after, the Newcastle. So we'll head over to this side where you get a good view of the East Coast Main Line, which runs up to Edinburgh from Newcastle Central Station. Across there you've got the Cathedral and St Nicholas's Street. Across over to the other side where you get good views of the Tyne Bridge and the Millennium Bridge. And as you can see, the Tyne Bridge currently undergoing its £40 million restoration. Looking down you can see the Moot Hole, which is the old courts. You've got the Vermont Hotel. Looking right over to the far corner there, you've got a bit of the old castle walls. And we'll check the other side, where you'll get a good look at the other bridges across the river. So as you can see, you've got the Metro Bridge, or the Queen Elizabeth II Bridge as most people call it, with the train going across. And you've got the Regent Bridge at the far side there. And of course, we've got this marvel of a bridge, the high level bridge, which is roughly 175 years old now. So as I said, now we're going to have a walk down into the city and we'll see what other historical sites we can see on the way and just have a general mooch about and see what's going on. So I'm now heading down the spiral staircases in the castle. It's a long way down, got to be very careful. I just can't imagine running down these stairs in a suit of armour. It's bad enough walking up them without a suit of armour, never mind going running up and down them. So we'll continue down till we get out to the Castle Keep. See the little windows there where they used to fire arrows and stuff from. I'll keep heading down. Tell you it's a long way down. Let's have a look here. Sign telling you how many stairs there is to the top where you get the best views in Newcastle. And cut through.
Like a web page, right? For music.
And head out the exit. You get a look just up the top here. You can see one of the original doorways into the castle. And we'll head down the steep staircase, walk right up to the doors. I just don't know how they run up and down here with suits of armour and stuff on in them days. I really don't get it. They talk about people being fit these days, but these blokes that used to run up and down here must have been super fit in my eyes. If you just look on the wall there, gives you a bit of information about the Castle Keep. As I say, we'll head down. I'll just cut round the back. I'll take us down Dogleap Stairs. And see another train going across the viaduct there. So we'll head under the railway viaduct. Then we'll go down the Dogleap Stairs. Heading under the railway viaduct. There's another Victorian marvel of its time, still standing. Not like most of the buildings that's been built these days, will probably not last half as long. But there you go. Oh, still a bit remains of the old city walls there. And we'll head down Dogleap Stairs. I get to them. Some more remains of the city wall just under the railway viaduct there. So here we are, Dogleap Stairs. So why do you think these are called Dogleap Stairs? Well, a lot of people think it's because dogs used to leap up and down them. Well, to tell you the truth, The story is, it's because they're shaped like a dog's hind leg. When you look at the shape of them, got nothing to do with dogs leaping up and down. And as you can see how steep they are, as we head down to the bottom. These are actually not the original stairs. The original stairs were a little bit further down. These were rebuilt when they actually built this railway viaduct here across Dean Street. So the stairs were just a little bit further down there, which were knocked down to make way for this viaduct, and they rebuilt them right next to the viaduct and still called them dogleaf stairs. So we'll head up into the city now, which we're heading up Dean Street. Actually no, we'll take a different route. We'll actually go up the side. So the side is literally called the side because it was up the side of a hill. And the side is actually the shortest street name in Newcastle. Somewhere right there we've got Milburn House, which is office blocks, various businesses are in there. So we'll continue up the side, which again is quite a steep bank. So I've just realised I've actually walked down all the way down dogleaf stairs just to walk all the way back up the side. But never mind. A little bit further up the side is where Lord Collingwood was born, or Admiral Lord Collingwood, as people might know him. If I find the blue plaque on the wall, which is just a bit further up here, somewhere. So up on the wall there is the blue plaque for Admiral Lord Collingwood. Now Admiral Lord Collingwood was second in command to Nelson at the Battle of Trafalgar, and it's him that took over the fleet when Nelson was killed. There was a bit of folklore in Newcastle. Apparently Nelson's last words were, "Don't let that Geordie take all the credit." If you believe that or not, that's another matter. So I'll just take a little sidetrack now, where we'll go around the back of the cathedral and we're going to see the vampire rabbit. There was a lot of legend to the vampire rabbit, a lot of stories, legends, tales, whatever you want to call them. But apparently it was put here to scare off would-be grave diggers in the olden times. As you can see, some of the graves still lying beside the cathedral. And just round this corner, up on the wall, across on the cathedral buildings, is the vampire rabbit. So if you look closely above that doorway in front of it, you'll see a little black rabbit. And that is the vampire rabbit of Newcastle. As I said, a lot of history attached to that rabbit, a lot of folklore, a lot of stories, but it's up to you what you want to believe. So we'll head round the side of the cathedral. A lot of this cathedral dates back to Norman times. A lot of its foundations, it's had bits added over the years. And actually the tower up there, I used to guide sailors in up the Tyne a lot of years ago when it was lit up, and apparently it also housed Scottish prisoners during the wars with Scotland. But I don't know if that's entirely true. We'll continue up towards Cathedral Square, where we have a monument of Queen Victoria, which I'll get you and I'll show you. So there is the monument of Queen Victoria. So we'll now head up the big market when I get across this road. So crossing Moseley Street, which has got its own bit of history. It was the first street in the world what was lit by incandescent light bulb by Joseph Swan, who actually is originally from Sunderland. So we'll still credit him with lighting the first street in Newcastle though. When I eventually get across this road, we'll just head across. So we're now heading up the cloth market. So the cloth market, obviously by its name, was used for selling of clothes, materials and whatever. Across the other side, past that building, past the job centre, the other side of there, you've got the groat market, which was obviously selling of groats, wheat, barleys. And this used to be the start of where the blading races used to start a lot of years ago, but I believe it now starts on the quayside. So continue up the cloth market. That building on the left there replaced what was the original Newcastle City Town Hall, which has now moved up to Barras Bridge in the 60s. And just continuing up, you've got like various bars, restaurants, takeaways. Just one little piece of historic thing across here. And I get coming around here, this pub here is the oldest pub in Newcastle, the Old George. And this is the courtyard. That's the Old George. Now, continuing out back towards the cloth market. You've got the Beehive pub on my right there, and over there, that round block used to be a toilet block years ago, and it's now a cocktail bar. And the toilets then were a bit notorious apparently, but they've maintained them and turned it into a cocktail bar. So we're now heading up the big market. So the big market is named after a coarse barley called Big, which was mainly grew in the north of England and Scotland. And if you look on the seats, they've actually got little metal studs, which is actually pieces of big barley. We'll continue up. A lot of historic buildings on the big market. A lot of them go way back. We've also got a Hooters, which recently opened. Across the other side, more bars, restaurants. And if you look on these seats, just give you a look, you have the words to the blading races all the way up. So if you're a bit stuck on the words of the blading races, get yourself to the big market, have a walk up the seats, and you can learn yourself the song. So we're now heading up to the junction with Grainger Street. Some more bars there, Filthy's, got Wendy's Burgers on the corner, Cream's Dessert Shop on the other corner, and this fountain here was moved to the top of the big market from roughly where the Queen Victoria monument is outside the Cathedral quite a few years back now. So we'll have a walk along Grainger Street, named after Thomas Grainger, who was the architect of a lot of these historic buildings in the city. So we're now in actually the part of town called Grainger Town. quite a busy street, as you can see. Plenty of traffic. Got McDonald's over the way. More Turkish barber shops. And Taco Bell. Got TD Hughes little department store. Some of the roads actually closed off today for some reason. Got some diggers out. Always digging holes in Newcastle. Should put a zip on it, would be quicker. You've got up there, you've got Bon Marsh, you've got a slot machine place, and you've got Start Fitness. Across the way you've got the Grainger Market, just also named after Thomas Grainger, which has a lot of little stalls in, selling food, clothes, cheese. You can just about buy anything in here. We'll just head across, have a quick look in. So we're heading to the Grainger Market, so you can have a quick look. This is actually getting a bit of restoration done at the minute. The doorways are getting done up, and as you can see, this is the Grainger Market. You've got Greek restaurants, you've got the old general warehouse. Go in and get weighed. We'll just head through. As you can see, you can buy just about anything in here. It's changed a lot since I was a kid. A lot more butchers and everything when I was a kid. But now a lot of takeaway food. Got burgers, wings, tenders there. Got a toy shop. Got Redhead's mac and cheese on the right there, which I've got to say is quite nice. I've had it a couple of times. So we'll head out onto Nelson Street. As you can see, they've had new tiles put down on the floor. The names on. So now we're on Nelson Street. So we'll head round to the monument. Well, I'll wrap this video up. You can see the Central Arcade straight in front of you. The Central Exchange building, Central Arcade. The Central Exchange buildings have suffered a big fire a lot of years ago. So the Central Arcade ended up underneath. I'll just take you through there so you can have a quick look in there, which is quite a historic place. They've got the names down on the floor. We'll just cut through into the Central Arcade. Give you a look at the old buildings. Unfortunately, we lost this shop last year. JD Windows, a music shop. Been there for a lot of years, but eventually it went bump. As you can see, the old signs saying radio and television above the door there, so it shows you how long this shop had been here before it closed. A very sad demise. So we'll head up to Monument, exiting the Central Arcade. I'll just show you a little bit of history over here. These lamps you can see in front of you were originally gas lamps, which were well over 200 years old. So you've got 6 here, which were called 6 lamp standard, and you also used to have 3 along here, but it looks like there's only 1 remaining now. So just before I wrap today's video up, please let me know in the comments below what you think of what you've seen on this little tour from the Castle Keep up to Monument. If you've liked the video, please give it a massive thumbs up, as it really helps the channel grow. And if you've not already done so, please consider subscribing to the channel and hit that bell notification when I release more videos. A very big thank you for watching. I will see you next time, right here on 55 Degrees North.